The Bloody Mary legend is one of the most widely recognized paranormal stories across the world, often told around campfires, at sleepovers, or on Halloween night. The legend involves summoning a spirit who is often described as a vengeful ghost, witch, or even a murdered woman, by performing a specific ritual. This ritual typically involves standing in front of a mirror in a dark room and chanting her name 3 times, sometimes 5 or more, in the hopes of summoning the mysterious entity. Once the ritual is completed, the spirit of Bloody Mary is said to appear, either in the mirror, behind the summoner, or sometimes even physically interacting with the person who called her. The details of her appearance vary, but common descriptions involve a woman with a blood-streaked face, distorted features, or a ghastly expression. Depending on the version of the legend, she may either attack or harm the summoner, speak cryptic words, or simply stand motionless, staring at the person who summoned her. The origins of Bloody Mary, more than just a name. While many of us associate Bloody Mary with the ritual performed at sleepovers, the history behind the legend stretches far beyond mere teenage dares. The question is, what could have turned an innocent ritual into such a spine-chilling phenomenon? 1. A Bloody Monarch, or a vengeful spirit. The most well-known origin of Bloody Mary ties her to Mary I of England, who was infamously dubbed Bloody Mary after her brutal reign in the 16th century. But there's a more compelling layer to this theory that few explore. Mary I's reign. The real Queen Mary was responsible for the execution of over 280 Protestants during her attempt to restore Catholicism to England. However, what makes her connection to the Bloody Mary legend even more fascinating is the deep psychological impact of her reign. What if her vengeful spirit, forever stained with blood, became trapped in the reflections of mirrors, silently watching those who dared to summon her name? Mary's legacy. Some versions of the legend propose that after her death, her restless soul wandered in search of those who would correct her wrongs, perhaps seeking repentance for her bloody deeds. The idea that her curse could be unleashed by simply speaking her name ties her directly to the haunting and spectral image that we now associate with the Bloody Mary legend. 2. The Witch in the Mirror, a darker story. Another darker version of the Bloody Mary tale speaks of a wronged woman, a witch condemned to burn at the stake, whose spirit returned to torment the living. Witchcraft and cursed. This theory builds on the rich history of witch hunts during the 16th and 17th centuries, where hundreds of women were accused of witchcraft and tortured or executed. Mary Worth, a supposed witch in some versions of the tale, is said to have cursed the town that condemned her. As the story goes, she swore that one day she would return, through the mirrors in which she was believed to have trapped her soul. The mirror as a gateway, how superstitions shape our reality. Mirrors have long been seen as portals to another world, a reflection of not just the physical, but the spiritual as well. What if the reason we see Bloody Mary in the mirror isn't just a trick of the mind, but a reflection of a dark and ancient belief? Ancient beliefs about mirrors. In ancient cultures, mirrors were considered windows to the soul, with the power to reflect not just a person's image, but their very essence. The ancient Greeks believed that mirrors could reveal the truth about a person's soul, and even act as portals for spirits to pass through. In the Roman Empire, mirrors were associated with death. It was believed that the soul of the deceased could be captured in the reflection, causing the mirror to become a gateway between life and death. When someone died, mirrors were covered in order to prevent the spirit from getting trapped. Cultural superstitions. Throughout history, many cultures held that breaking a mirror could release a curse that lasts for 7 years, the exact amount of time it supposedly takes for the soul to escape. With mirrors acting as gateways to the spirit world, It's easy to see how Bloody Mary could be imagined as a spirit trapped between dimensions, waiting to be summoned. The Bloody Mary ritual, why it works, and why it scares. Why does the Bloody Mary ritual work so effectively? The answer lies in the psychology of fear and the power of suggestion. Here's how we can break it down. 1. The perceptual set and the mind's tricks. As you stand before the mirror, chanting Bloody Mary in the dark, your mind is primed to see something supernatural. This psychological phenomenon, known as the perceptual set, causes your brain to see things that aren't really there. Staring at your reflection for an extended period, especially in low lighting, causes your eyes to start playing tricks on you. The face in the mirror illusion. The human brain is wired to recognize faces, even in vague or incomplete images. When you stare at your reflection long enough, your brain might start to interpret shadows and faint figures as something familiar, such as a ghostly face or figure. 2. Group influence, how fear spreads. When multiple people perform the ritual, the fear becomes contagious. If one person thinks they see something in the mirror, others are likely to experience the same thing, amplifying the terror. This groupthink effect can convince everyone involved that they've encountered something unexplainable. Real-life encounters, chilling stories that will make you think twice. There are countless anecdotes and real-life encounters from people who swear they've encountered Bloody Mary during the ritual. Some stories are so eerie, they leave even the most skeptical person wondering if there's more to the legend than mere fiction. 1. The teenager's nightmare, a spirit in the mirror. One infamous account comes from a group of teenagers who were playing the Bloody Mary game at a sleepover. One girl reported that after chanting her name, she saw a shadowy figure standing behind her in the mirror. When she turned around to confront it, nothing was there. But when she looked back into the mirror, the reflection had changed. The figure had moved closer, the streak of blood. Another girl reported seeing the mirror fill with blood-like streaks dripping from the corners, while her friends remained completely oblivious. After she dared not to look away, the bloodstains disappeared. It was as if the spirit had been feeding off her fear. 2. A young woman's encounter, the reflection that wasn't her own. A young woman named Lisa, after performing the Bloody Mary ritual, was left shaken when her reflection began to smile back at her. But she wasn't smiling. The reflection's expression twisted into something sinister before it vanished, leaving her staring at an empty mirror. To this day, she insists that she did not imagine it. Theories behind the Bloody Mary phenomenon. Is it really paranormal? Now that we've explored the folklore and real-life encounters, let's dive into the deeper theories that attempt to explain why this phenomenon occurs. Are these sightings truly supernatural, or do they stem from more grounded causes? The latter have been mentioned multiple times. 1. Psychological projection, the fear of the unknown. Some psychologists suggest that the Bloody Mary phenomenon is rooted in the human fear of the unknown. When people perform the ritual, they are already primed to be scared, and the darkness of the room, combined with the uncertainty of what will happen, triggers deep anxiety. Projection of inner fears. The legend of Bloody Mary might not just be the manifestation of an external force, but the projection of our own fears and repressed emotions. Her appearance, then, may represent guilt, regret, or other unresolved emotions haunting the person performing the ritual. 2. An ancient spirit seeking revenge. Reformation. For those who believe in the paranormal, Bloody Mary could be a spirit seeking vengeance, whose restless soul can't find peace. She may appear in the mirror as a way of communicating with the living, attempting to fulfill an old curse or demand retribution. The mystery lingers. Can you handle the truth? The question remains, who is Bloody Mary? Is she a historical figure seeking revenge, a tortured spirit with unfinished business, or simply a trick of the mind? One thing is certain, the fear she invokes is very real. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the chilling legend of Bloody Mary, don't forget to hit that like button and share this mystery with your friends. Who knows, they might never look into a mirror the same way again. Don't forget to subscribe for more spine-tingling tales and true mysteries from history. And remember, the truth might be closer than you think. Dare to uncover it.